I have found what I think is the greatest thing to ever grace the pages of eBay. Let me show you. Right here is a TRD muffler that is absolutely beat to hell. Look at that. The tip is a D shape. This is meant to be a circle. They've turned into a D shape with how much they've hit the ground with it. And to top it off, even if I wanted to buy it, I'd still need to take it to an exhaust shop because they cut the pipe off of it. So you can't even attach it to the car. What is this? Why? What is the point of that? Even if you attach a bigger pipe to this, the restriction is still in there. It makes no difference if you upgrade this from, say, a 2-inch to a 2.5-inch pipe. It makes no difference. Not to mention the welds. I don't know if they re-welded this or something, but the welds look awful. I don't know what the hell happened here, but this thing has gotten massacred. And you want to know the price for this heap of junk? Boom, $350. $355 actually. To put that into perspective, the brand new, at the time, TRD exhaust I have on the blue Corolla that I bought 2 years ago, I paid maybe not even $100 more for a brand new one. Now, as far as I know, you can't get brand new ones anymore. At least I've been looking around and I can't find any brand new ones. But just because this is a rare exhaust does not mean that a piece of junk like this is worth that. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit tempted to buy this just so when he mails it to me and I see the return address, I can then send back to him some rainbow hair, a red nose, and just a whole clown suit, just so he can put it on, look in the mirror, and see what a f***ing clown he is. Anyway, I thought this was just kind of funny. It's pretty humorous to me. Anyways, on to the video. Today, I'm going to be installing a monkey wrench short shifter into the XRS. This will fit all Corollas between 2003 and 2013. I think you need a different one if you have an 8th gen or if you have an 11th gen. And I'm pretty sure they've got those on the site as well. Pretty much, this isn't a full sort of shifter and base combo. It is just the shifter. So I'm going to have to take apart the current one, just pretty much taking the stick out and then putting the new one in there. Every video that I've seen on this install has fully taken out the entire shifter base to then work on it outside the car. What I want to do here is see if it's possible to install this without having to remove the shifter base. Maybe it's possible, maybe it's not. I have no idea, so I'm just gonna experiment a little bit, do a little trial and error. If it does, I think it would be a lot easier to leave it in the car. If it's not, then obviously you gotta have to take it out. But I haven't seen anybody try installing it with the shifter base still installed, still bolted in to the car. So I'm gonna test it out. Here's where my first problem starts. So here, if I just move this out of the way. So here's my issue. Last time when I installed the shifter base bushings, this doesn't come out, and I think they glued this shift boot onto the stick. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to pull that off. I don't know if I can pull this off before I remove the actual shifter, or if I have to see if I can remove it after I take the shifter out so I can get a better view on it. I have no idea why they've done this. I don't know what the point of this was, because this should just freely pop out, but evidently it doesn't. Whatever, I'm just gonna make the most of it, see if I can figure out something, and hopefully this is a smooth install. So with that, let's get to it. There seems to be some sort of locking collar here. If I pull this off, I think that'll let the shift boot come loose. What have they done to this car? does not look like the usual. Check this out. This is, as far as I'm aware, not stock. I don't know what this is. This does not look stock to me though. Oh, there it goes. Oh, sick. Okay. Well, I figured it out now. Let me know if this is stock, because this does not look like the usual stock. Is this a collar ring, whatever this is called? And it doesn't look like this is gonna fit on the new shifter without some modification. I'll see if I can bore it out a little bit. It looks like they already have. We'll burn that bridge when we get there. We have made it past the shift boot. So now we're on to the next thing. So this is where normally people will undo the bolts, such as this, holding the whole base in, and just remove the base. I'm gonna see if it's possible to work on this without having to remove the base. Right, so that's this cable loose now. So I'm gonna come back to this in a second. For now, I think what I'm gonna do is target this sort of locking collar here and just go to town on it, basically. This, from what I've heard, is the most difficult part of this job. So I'm gonna see if I can get this to work. This might take a bit. This part is hard, so when you do this install, just take your time. And there it goes. Give it a little bit of time, be a little patient, it'll pop off eventually. This next part is also a little bit tricky. Now you gotta punch this pin through, so you gotta pop it out. This is also a bit difficult, so again, just be patient, give it time, and just work at it a little bit at a time. You'll get there. There it goes. This is what the shifter looks like now. We can just pop this little instrument off. Ooh, cable's still attached to it. Hang on. There you go. Just remember what this looks like and how it was oriented on the car. It's not too difficult to remember. So now this is a bit loose. I still have that bottom cable attached. I will get to that in a second. Now what we have to do is pop this collar off. I keep calling it a collar. I don't know what it is. Just this little plastic surround. You gotta pop this out. Monkey Wrench Racing includes this tool with the shifter. This is a tool. This is not something you have to install. This is just a tool to help you remove this. There's a space for where this is supposed to go, but I don't see it. Where's this go? There's a spot where this is supposed to release a couple notches, but I'm not seeing where those notches are. So I've done some reviewing. It looks like the tool is only for the 10th gens, it looks like. Just because the 9th gen shifter doesn't have a nice slot and some pins to pop this out. So with the 9th gens, looks like you just gotta go around and just pry up a little bit until eventually you pop it off. Almost there. Almost there. Come on. It's a little further. Oh, it's basically popped out now. Come on, it's so close. There we go. Maybe not the cleanest way to do it, but got there. And I've disconnected the cable now, so that is out. So if we compare this to the Monkey Wrench shifter, look how much shorter it is. Look at that. Wow, that is way, way shorter. So now what we're gonna need to do is pop off this cap here. You're gonna need to reuse this on the new shifter. So is a little messy. I need to mention that all the places that have moving stuff, so all the parts of the shifter that actually move, you got to grease them up, and that way you don't have any friction and later on shifter failure. But I forgot to buy grease, and I'm kind of on a time crunch right now, so I'm going to install this without the grease. So I'm going to go back and re-grease everything when I have more time. But right now, I'm kind of in a rush. So that's why I'm not greasing stuff. You very much should. Very, very highly recommended that you grease up all the moving pieces. All right. Jeez, it went flying. I'm glad I didn't have my window open. Haha, got it. Just had to borrow the floor for a second. Oh, perfect. Oh, wow. So I might look into getting a new one of these. The last shifter and this one too has a little bit of play here. It's not bad, but it's just because this seems to be a little bit worn out on the inside here. That's why it has a little bit of play. Not too worrisome or anything. It's just something to think about. So Monkey Wrench Racing also, I dropped it. Monkey Wrench, so Monkey Wrench Racing also includes a couple new of these pins for, locks for this pin here. So you can want to hurt yourself when you have to do this again. Nah, you probably don't have to do this again. So don't even worry about it. It looks like this isn't, it looks like this one isn't even for this. I don't know where this goes then. Ooh, okay, I'll figure it out. That goes here. This looks like it would be a lot easier to take out for future repair though. Tell you what, because I do plan to take this apart again, I'm going to leave this out and just take my chances. Because it looks like you have to use some force to take this out anyway, so I'm going to take my chances on that. So now this cotter pin goes back, where does it go? There. Pop it in, and then that's just what it is. And again, when you take it out, because I don't think I showed you, just get some pliers and just yank it out. It'll come out. Took a lot of finagling, but I got it. It's on there. So now I'm going to just line everything back up. Oh, also, Monkey Wrench Racing does include new base bushings, but since I already have their other base bushings, I'm not installing these. So I don't really have a use for these. I don't know. I think these will also work if you don't have a short shifter. So, I mean, if you're interested, let me know. These should install just fine on your shifter base, even if you don't have the short shifter. So the shifter as it sits like this doesn't really want to fit. It doesn't really want to go. So I'm going to just pop this off. And now it'll screw right in. There we go. Look at that. Look how nice it bolts in now. This is really short. This is a really short shifter. So right off the bat, my first impressions, this is really short. This is really short. I was under the impression that this was just gonna make it just a little bit shorter. This is really, really short. So I'm gonna row through the gears now. It's first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Reverse. Reverse is a lot more difficult to get into, which is fine. That's typical short shifter. If you don't like how difficult it is to get into reverse, then I'd recommend leaving the stock shifter, at least if you have a 6-speed. If you have a 5-speed, obviously your reverse is down here, so it doesn't really affect anything. It's got an interesting feel to it. It feels more direct. And this is before installing the cable bushings too. I've yet to install those. I'm hoping to install those before it gets cold out, but I need to bring my Dremel back when I go back to Wisconsin. I need my Dremel back so I can manage the rust on there, because I tried installing it and they didn't want to go in because of the rust. Tell you what, it is a little bit shorter than I would have liked. I do think that since these look a lot thicker than the other base bushings, I think this will raise it up a little bit so it's not so short. So maybe take back what I said about selling these, at least for now. Give me a little bit of time. I just want to drive it how it is now, and then maybe I'll also install these just to try them out, and I'll see which ones I like better. Tell you what though, the more I row through it, the more I don't mind it. Because I'm also a Miata owner, and that car has a very, very short shifter. So this isn't bad. I would say this is almost like sports car shifter length. Because I think I've seen the shifter of a Porsche as well, and it's kind of similar to this, maybe even a little bit shorter. I'll just drive it around a little bit and see how I feel. Maybe I'll like it at this height, or maybe it's just a little bit too short for me. But either way, this has answered my question though of, can you install the shifter just leaving the base in? Which the answer is yes, because I just did it. I mean, I did have to pop the base out temporarily just to get the last cotter pin in, but oh well. I could have done it with the base still attached. I just got fed up with it. Something really interesting just happened. So I was putting the bolts back in for my center console inside the tray here, and I dropped one of them, so of course I had to move the seat up. I moved the seat up, and what do I find other than, where are they? A couple little ciggies down there. Little cigarettes. I don't know if this was evident enough, but I don't smoke. So it's just kind of interesting. I don't know, it's not, I feel like I'm giving the impression that like, oh, I'm so freaked out because, oh, it's a cigarette in my car. There's 2 cigarettes in my car. Look, I don't really care. I'm just going to throw them out. But I just thought it was kind of interesting because now I've figured out why, when I bought this car, they put so much air freshening stuff in here. I mean, they didn't hang air fresheners in here, but it was very evident they sprayed stuff everywhere in this car. And even on the door panels here, like, these are not usually this shiny, and so like they coated this with some kind of cleaner, and now I figured out why. It's just it's just really interesting because I've been trying to figure it out for a while, what was being hidden, because there obviously has to be some reason why you don't just, I mean, like when you sell a car, you want to make it smell nice, right? But you don't want to just spray stuff to make this car smell like pure air freshening chemicals. So I just found that kind of interesting. Also, it was really interesting. I never noticed this. I've owned this car almost 2 months now, and I never noticed it. So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Also, one last thing for this video. Some of you were wondering what the AutoOne high beams looked like at night. Obviously it's difficult to see, so bang, there you go. These are 14,000 lumens, so they're not bad. They do light up the road quite a bit, and they project pretty well considering that I don't have projectors in these lights. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, I was given AutoOne 9005 high beams a few videos ago. You know, I've just been testing them out, been running them on my car, and they're pretty good. I have to say. I don't know, again, the longevity of them, but so far they've been holding up pretty well. So with all of that out of the way, that's going to be it for this video. This has been my longest video since probably 2018. I have not made a 20-minute video since, and I'm really surprised that it's this one. Closing thoughts. I drove it to the gas station and back, and it's grown on me a lot. I really do like it. My first impression of it's really short just because a Corolla is a lot bigger than a Miata is, and it's quite a bit shorter than the shifter I have in my WRX, which is a pretty similarly sized car. But I do like it though. I've driven around some. It's pretty nice. I actually do like it. At the height it's at. Also, some of you might be wondering, oh, why you're not gonna show us you driving it? Well, because me just rolling through the gears while the car's in neutral is pretty similar to me rolling through the gears while the car's in drive, or while I'm driving it. So it doesn't really matter for you guys. Oh, hello. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to shifters and stuff, I can feel it as a driver. None of you can feel it as a passenger, but all I'm saying is I like the shifter a lot. If you don't like short shifters, then I wouldn't recommend it, but if you are looking to shorten up the stock shifter on these Corollas, then I would definitely recommend it. Go for it. I should mention though, this is only for the 2003 to 2013 Corollas, not the Matrixes, not the Vibes, not the Celicas. It only fits on the Corollas. Monkey Wrench Racing has other shifters for the other cars. Check out Monkey Wrench Racing, see what they have for your car. Anyway, I usually overtalk these outros, so I'm just going to end it there. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead, leave a like on the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.